What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Tuesday edition of my NBA DFS podcast. This slate is tricky. We don't have a lot of value. Our best value is coming from the Spurs because Wembanyama is out tonight. However, this spread in Milwaukee is a 16-point spread, so we have blowout risk. We're going to have to hope that the Spurs stay in this game because it's the best DFS game on the slate if it can stay somewhat close. With no Wembanyama, we got a lot of value. We're going to want to target Spurs, unfortunately, and hopefully things can go well over in Milwaukee. So let's jump right into things here. Like this video, subscribe. Hopefully these picks help you out tonight. Again, this is a tricky 4-game slate. We have a couple injury guys. We have Zion Williamson is questionable right now. We got Ja Morant coming back from his suspension. That's an exciting thing for the Grizzlies. Obviously, they need him. They've been one of the worst teams in the NBA without him. I expect him to come out and play really well. But we'll get right into my 5 plays. One position for each play, all 5 positions, using FanDuel salaries as usual. Point guard, I'm going to look at Anthony Simons. We have Shaedon Sharpe questionable on the Blazers. Also, to round out the injury news, we got Porzingis questionable again for the Celtics with his calf. I think Simons is great here at 7,900. This is a 7-point spread. We don't have a lot of comfortable spreads tonight. Phoenix at Portland is 7. Boston at Golden State is 5. And Memphis at the Pelicans, I think, is 7. So we have blowout risk everywhere tonight. But I do like Simons at home against the Suns. He's obviously their, main scorer on this team. Malcolm Brogdon has reverted back to a bench role. We can expect Simons to see, 35 minutes tonight. He's been getting up a ton of shots. He had that one poor shooting game against Utah, but other than that, he's looked great. His price is now dipped below 8K to 7,900. He needs 39 fantasy points to hit value. He is, mid-50s upside, and he looks really good to get right around, 38 to 42 fantasy points tonight. He can play both shooting guard and point guard on FanDuel, which is always nice. Simons is going to be popular tonight, not only because he's in a good spot, but we only have 8 teams to pick from, so there's not, a huge quantity size to pick from. I like Simons at 7,900. Shooting guard, we're going to go to the Spurs. Again, with no Wembanyama, there's just a lot of usage around. We just got to hope that this game doesn't get miserable and Popovich just ends up running his, scrubs for a lot of this game. I like Devin Vassell starting here. He's been, up and down. He's still their main scorer. He's been getting a lot of shots up. With no Wembanyama, he's going to get even more shots up tonight. It's a good game environment against the Bucks. The Bucks don't play good defense. So if he can get hot shooting the ball, he's going to be a must-have for tonight at 6,500. He needs 32 fantasy points tonight. He's projected for 33. If this game stays somewhat close, he's going to look really good. He had a great game 2 games ago against the Lakers, 52, his coming out party for the season. But he's averaging, right around 29 fantasy points on the year. We know he has a high ceiling. This is really just going to depend on if the Spurs can stay in this game. Small forward, we're going to go back to the Trailblazers. I like Jeremy Grant as the number 2 guy on the Blazers behind Simon. 7,300, good price on him. Again, with only 4 games tonight, we're going to have to get a little uncomfortable. Everyone has the same disadvantage on this slate. Grant needs 36 fantasy points to hit value. He's averaging low to mid 30s on the year. He's a good cash game guy because he's going to get you over 30 fantasy points basically every given night. 2 really good games since he's come back from injury, playing a ton of minutes, so he's clearly feeling 100%, 38 minutes, 40 minutes, and he is scoring a lot. Next to Anthony Simons, these 2 guys score the basketball. The Blazers do not have many true scorers, but these 2 guys in Simons and Grant are true scorers. I like him to get 35 fantasy points tonight. He looks pretty safe. Also, multi-positional eligibility, small forward and power forward for FanDuel. Power forward, we're going to have to kind of scrape a little bit at value. You could look at Jeremy Sohan at 5,500 with no Wembanyama, but, we're really, really testing it. I don't want to have too many Spurs tonight, but I don't mind Bobby Portis at 5,600. He's the sixth man on the Bucks. We know we're getting 22 to 25 minutes out of him. He's a fantasy point per minute kind of guy. He needs 26 fantasy points, 26, 27 fantasy points to hit value. He's right up around there. He just looks really good. We don't have a lot to pick from, like I've said. So we're going to have to get, a little weird here tonight. We know he's pretty consistent. He's going to get 24 minutes. Great matchup against the Spurs. He can easily crush at a huge 46-point game a couple of nights ago against the Pistons. Great scorer, great rebounder. Hopefully he can get what he needs to do tonight, because I think he's going to be a pretty key middle to low salary guy for a lot of lineups tonight at that $5,600 salary. And then for center, best value play on the board, it's going to be strictly, game script tonight. Collins is going to get there if this game, is somewhat normal and he plays 30 minutes. He's projected to start, obviously, with no Victor Wembanyama. He has reverted to a bench role as of late, as they've put Sohan to the 4. But with no Wembanyama, we know Zach Collins is going to be starting at the 5. He should be maybe the most rostered player tonight at 5,100. He's projected for like 33 fantasy points. We've seen earlier in the year when he plays 30-plus minutes, he can crush. He has some huge games in there, plenty of 30s. He has a 43, he has a 54. They run the ball through him a lot. He can assist, he rebounds, he scores. Obviously, again, with no Wembanyama, it opens up a ton of usage for this Spurs team, and he just looks really good. He can play power forward and center. He is, as of right now, the best value play on the board. It is a risky 16-point spread, but we're going to have to eat that tonight with only 4 games. Collins looks like a magnificent value play tonight across the board. That'll do it for this video, guys. Looking to have a big night. Been kind of struggling NBA, but there's always better days ahead. Ready to get after this 4-game slate. Until next time, I am the FD Guru. Peace.